I'm bringing all of this chocolate. I mean, are you guys seeing that? Or like, Poko, like your friends are pretty. What happened to you? I've had my experience where people told me that I wasn't as pretty because of my skin and that I should get lighter and that I should bleach my skin. Oh, Poko, you're so pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Welcome you guys, it's your dark-skinned girl with a motive, Poko Rams, and I'm back with another video. Your Miguel is back with another video. Your Miguel is back one time, back with another video 2 times. Welcome back you guys. You guys know exactly what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on those notification bells, honey, because your dark-skinned girl is here to stay. Your dark-skinned girl is here to slay. Now, as you guys can see today, I'm bringing all of this chocolate. I mean, are you guys seeing that? I know that's all the way right. So as you guys can see by the title of the video today, we're going to be speaking about colorism and why I call myself a dark-skinned girl with a motive. So this is a series that I want to call Melanin Motive. I want it to be full of melanated people, and I want to show our beautiful hues and however that we are. Shout out to all of my girls, shout out to all my boys. I think that it's important that we have this conversation about colorism, and so I don't want to exclude anyone from their experiences and what their thoughts are. I want to have everybody's opinion and see how we can have this conversation with other people and learn from these experiences. It's a very broad conversation. I think that it needs to be had, and I can't wait to have it with you guys. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. So I'm gonna define what colorism is. It is discrimination based on skin color, also known as colorism or shadyism. It is a form of prejudice or discrimination in which people who are usually members of the same race are treated differently based on social implications which come with the cultural meanings which are attached to skin color. So for a simpler way of describing what colorism is, it's basically racism within your own race. So I'm going to give you another definition. It is differential treatment based on skin color, especially favoritism toward those with a lighter skin tone and mistreatment or exclusion of those with a darker skin tone, typically amongst those in the same racial group or ethnicity. So basically it's like basically people that are lighter get favored more other than people that are darker. And so I feel like this conversation was very important for me to have because I'm a dark-skinned girl and I've suffered from colorism literally all my life, whereas there's some opportunities or I am treated differently because of the color of my skin, specifically because you guys should already know that I've got a twin sister. And you know, Bokang, if you don't know, I'm going to put it in my cards where you guys can get to know me and her. Bokang and I are twin sisters, and she's light in complexion and I'm dark in complexion. So my experience with colorism goes from way back, being a dark-skinned girl, and basically as well just as siblings in general, which I'm sure anyone who has siblings has gone through. You're always compared. Like, that's your life's experience, that you guys are always compared. This one does that dish is better than the other one, then, you know, so that's always, I guess, gonna happen, which is, I'm not saying is great, but being a twin, especially, it's not like, okay, this one was older, this one did better when she was in this grade. We're always at a place where it's like, why aren't you guys the same, or why does she do this better? So it's being the same age is also just a little bit like of an issue, which was obviously really sad, being compared by people that you love, by people that were just around you. I am not basing this on the fact that, oh, this is what I have known myself to be. I grew up to know myself as compared and being different because of what people used to say, and like, oh, Poko, why are you darker than Bokang? it was also just the tone in which people said it. Or like, yo, she's way lighter than you. Like, why? I don't understand, you know? And it was always in preference to, you should have been lighter. And so for me, my experience has started from a young age, basically trying to accept that, Poko, you're dark. And I have, obviously, you know it as a kid. You know, even with racism, you know, okay, I'm different. For instance, if, like, I know that I'm black, I know that he's white, but, you know that kind of difference. But you are taught those experiences of, or not even experiences, you're taught to be a racist. You're taught that sort of thing, or I guess what people may call as preference. It's not preference. That's either you're racist or you're being a colorist. So for me, my experience has always been people saying, oh, Poko, you're so pretty for a dark-skinned girl, and comment on my beauty, but base it as well. Because of my skin tone, it's such a surprise that, Poko, you're so beautiful, you know? So I've always had that kind of problem with people just speaking to me that way and not acknowledging that I'm pretty without them saying for a dark-skinned girl. So it's basically just implying that as a dark-skinned girl, like, they're not like pretty. Even like in South African cultures, they'd be calling you like mantu, and mantu felt like such a bad word. Like tutu. Like, I'm just like, yo guys, like, you know, the lights go off, you're that dark and all of that. And I had always been okay with it, but I think as the more people kept pointing it out, comparing me to either my sister, comparing me to other people, I started comparing myself. I started having conversations with myself where I was like, okay, maybe I am not so pretty. Maybe I should be lighter. Maybe just like how people say, no, don't sit in the sun, you're gonna get too dark. Now I'm thinking, right, now I'm gonna get so dark if I sit in the sun after I have a swim in the pool. That kind of thing got into my head. That kind of thing influenced me. And I know that that's not something that I went through alone. I know a lot of people have gone through it, and there's so many stories that I'd love to tell about what people go through being dark-skinned. I needed to get to a point where I understood and I knew that I am beautiful besides my skin tone, but I also needed to own what my color was. And that's why I call myself your dark-skinned girl with a motive, because for me, it is very, very important that I represent myself, but I also represent other girls in the world, other little girls who have a hard time being compared, or who have a hard time seeing their beauty in the darkness of their skin. This is not me going against what other people are. It's me telling my story as where I am being, from a person who has colorist views put onto her. I respect and I love every other hue, but I'm here for my dark-skinned girls because I had a story to tell, and I've had my experience where people told me that I wasn't as pretty because of my skin, and that I should get lighter, and that I should bleach my skin, and all of those little conversations. I remember being in a friendship group where I was the only dark-skinned girl, and it felt like, I remember there was a comment that was made out to me anonymously saying that, oh, like, Poko, like, your friends are pretty, what happened to you? So I've been through stuff like that. That's had a huge impact on who I am as a person, my insecurities. It made a big deal to me. And my beauty became a thing. Me wanting to, like, establish what my beauty was had become such a mission for me in my life. And another reason why I want to bring up the fact that it's not me not seeing what other hues go through. For instance, with my sister, she also had a problem with being compared. We both went through a point where we were like, are we pretty? Are we pretty? Are we pretty? Because on her side, people would compare her to me, you know? So it was very weird. And for me, it's important that I had this conversation to let other girls know that you're beautiful, just with that skin tone that you have, and that you are seen. And just because there is so many Eurocentric trends and what society views as beautiful, I'm here as a dark-skinned girl to let those girls who are still struggling to see the beauty in their skin tone that you are beautiful. You do not need to lighten your skin to look like a badass. You can still be a badass looking this gorgeous. Look at my skin, guys. I'm still a badass. And it took me time to get to that, and I need you to know that you can get there too. And I just want other girls to know that and have that conversation with other girls about what it means to be a dark-skinned girl and their experiences that they've had. I've got many stories that I could tell, But for me, it was just to come on here and to create a platform for dark-skinned girls to speak about stuff like this. And I want to hear stories. So I'm inviting everyone, girls, boys even, that have gone through the comparison and wanting to be lighter, to tell me their story, and we can have conversations about it, because colorism is a real thing. And I think people just look at it as like, oh, okay, maybe just Americans that go through it or whatever. We very much go through it here, where people are called you Mansu. Why are you so dark? All of those little questions. And it's had an impact from me when I was a kid, and I had to grow into believing that, you know what, I am beautiful. And the reason why I call myself your dark-skinned girl with a motive is because, first of all, I am proud of my skin, and my motive is to reach out to many other women and girls and whoever else has issues with their skin, and have these conversations. My motive rather, is to inspire. My motive is to get word out there that you are beautiful as you are, and that with a world full of so much of these like broad spectrums and broad examples of what beauty is, I want to be that example and that pillar for other people to see that, you know what, she's going through what I went through and I relate to her. And that's why I call myself your dark-skinned girl with a motive. I am super excited to get a conversation going with different people onto my platform, light skin, dark skin, middle tones, and all of those people, to hear their stories and hear how they feel about it, because I need people to see that there is a difference between how we are treated, the darker hues are treated, compared to people that have fairer skin. And speak about more about my experience, especially having a twin who's lighter in complexion than me. I needed to find something in myself to believe that, Poko, you are beautiful besides what other people say. So guys, leave your comments below. I'm sending you guys so much love today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. So much more to come from me as your dark-skinned girl with a motive. Please remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for joining me guys today. I love you.